Did you get through any of that?
Ah,
No, I
Hmm.
didn't. Sorry,
It was
but
actually
but
quite
I'll check.
complimentary. But
coming up. Quiet, everyone.
good evening and welcome to the After Hours show with the Autonomous Collective. My name is Joe in Norway. I'll be your cook this evening. I'm joined by Ann Lee, a retired college professor and a community member at the Daily Coast. They're a member of the National Council of Independent Scholars and is a contributor to the book, The Political Economy of Art, Making the Nation of Culture. We're also joined by Arjun from Deep in the History Pod. Evening, y'all. What's happening?
Hey there.
Oh, always a pleasure, my friends.
Oh, we're slowly getting organized. We've got some good ideas from the ether. I think what we ought to do is explain for all of our new listeners and viewers potentially that this is a political cooking show. I cook quietly most of the time unless I interrupt rudely, which we'll try to get better with that.
All
We
cooking is politics, Joe. Don't feel bad.
that's the truth. That's the
Seriously,
truth.
parsley and cilantro, Portugal,
Oh,
Spain. They'll
There we
go to
go.
war over that.
There we go.
Coriander, cilantro. Can't even agree on the same herb
Right?
or herb. Jesus.
Herb.
Well, so the plan. Well, what I do all the time is cook a 100% vegetarian meal in as short a space of time as possible, or given under an hour, hour and a half, and no, you use no animal products. Not for particularly ideological reasons, except that maybe some people want to know how to leverage just vegetables, or think of a kind of limited way of preparing food, and thinking you don't have options available. There's all kinds of options as long as you can
New
get to some fresh food.
Joe, if I may. New listeners, what Joe is trying to say is that he is not trying to shove vegan propaganda down your throats.
Not a militant vegan. Nope. This we're woke 1.0 all the way. uh, anyways, so I'll be cooking, and then we'll be discussing some news of the day. And one of the things I wanted to mention about this meal is a very special meal, not just for being Anna's first mushroom meal I'm preparing for the year, but the struggle with this El Nino giving us a partial ice age, a mini ice age up here in Norway on the west coast. My first squash harvest, a little baby yellow squash, just struggling to survive out there in the temperatures. One of the most pleasurable meals, if you're going 100% vegetarian, is to harvest. We're basically going to harvest and butcher these poor baby squash and chop them up, saute them briefly with some wild chanterelle or maybe some hedgehog mushrooms, and then shove them inside their own blossom. Not this one. This one's a bit shrivelly, so we got to go out and harvest the other squash with the flower. And it's such a delicacy. Has anybody had fried squash flowers
I don't think I
before?
have.
Oh
No.
my God.
So
It
is this squash like a variant of like sort of yellow zucchini
yeah,
taste
it's
wise?
the
Okay,
same. Yeah.
awesome.
So and I prefer these over zucchini. They're less seedy and firmer. And this is the perfect size to cook, to harvest them, unless of course you're in a mini ice age and you barely got any growing, and you're
So
only
you're
going to
talking
have
about
a
this coming
handful.
winter?
Yeah,
Yep, that's
yeah.
what's
But
gonna
if
Right.
but if
happen.
you're in a proper climate and you've got these things coming out every other day, you can harvest them early, save their flowers before the flowers rot. And what we're going to do is chop them up. We're going to saute them briefly, chop them up real fine, mix them with olive oil, or if you like butter, and fresh herbs from the garden. I've got dill, chives, parsley, and wild bishop's weed, or goutweed, as it's often called. And so chop it all up and then shove it inside its blossom, drizzle with olive oil, and toast it in the oven for some minutes till it crisps up. And it is like a vegan bacon. It is so rich and intense. It has this overwhelming richness. It's truly amazing. So it has
Joe,
this
you
kind of
mentioned something earlier. You were including mushrooms in this for Anna.
mm,
Is Anna pro or con? Like,
oh,
is she's pro mushroom, then you're
I
making
don't want
it
to get it
for
too
her.
close.
But if she's con, this is very passive aggressive, which is why you were saying we have to
Uh,
shove it in. So
she
just
is
want to
she
understand.
is not a stan at all.
No, beautiful
but I
mise en place
but
as always,
but I
brother.
keep thinking at some point she's gonna get triggered in a positive way. Oh yeah, so we've got some little chanterelles and little pig soap, or what do you call it? Hedgehog mushrooms. It's kind of hard to see, but they develop little little spines that hang down from the cap. We'll see those a little bit later in the season. And I've got some of our uh, peas that I'll saute, and we'll figure out some kind of presentation. I'm not sure what we'll do there, but we'll run outside and gather our little last squash and flour and get cooking.
Sounds awesome.
We have forgotten to mention that you're going to do foraging during the good weather, obviously, and that's part of the
Mm,
show too. So
yeah.
there's going to be a lot of Blair Witch Project sort of stuff going on out
This one will be a bit more safe, just in our manicured vegetable garden. Not
there.
venturing into the wild.
Well, you have been out kind of a little ways, I
Mm,
recall.
mm, mm.
But anyway,
It's been a busy week.
it's been a busy week. I think Arjun wanted to uh, begin with something,
Yeah,
or
I thought we should all
no.
begin like on a solemn note.
Oh, per.
We've all had like deep loves in our lives. Recently, me, because like reading this letter to the President of the United States brought back a lot of the text messages from the deep love that I felt that was sadly not to be. So, this is from Natalie Harp. Dear Mr. President, I'm sorry. I thought I was the only one left behind last night and had no idea Margot's car was also pulled over and sent back to the airport. Since I was alone in the van outside customs without my passport, I panicked and I should have called the Secret Service instead of you. I am also sorry if I was an embarrassment for walking the course in Scotland. The first day I was told there were no carts and the people walked, which is why I walked. The second day, I was specifically asked by one I forget whose name was. I didn't write this. Uh, I'll start that again. On the second day, sorry, the second day, I was specifically asked by one, forget who his name was, but one of the main people who worked there, if I could, if I could continue walking and tell any girls who would head out to the same place to do the same thing and walk around the course to save the carts. If there is anything else I have done to cause you trouble, please forgive me. I know that some people have said that I haven't been texting them back, and there have been some international issues. In brackets, John was having political and technical issues on the plane too. So I asked him to help me out. I'm pausing here to explain to you that when I heard the name John, I thought of Prof. John. So I did, in fact, reach out to Candace's Owens' excellent team um, on Twitter and asked who said John was. The reply I said, the reply I got could apply to anyone. And it said, John is someone who's politically active and deficient in the use of technology. And because Prof. John never turns on his webcam and because it apparently never works, I'm going with them and I'm saying this is Prof. John. Now we continue from Natalie. I want things between us to excuse me. I want things to always be right between us. I know I've been distracted all week, forgetting to eat through the days and even forgetting to sleep and only catching a couple of hours at a time. I haven't been myself, dwelling on the past and the pain of losing my dad. And I started letting the remarks of people who haven't bothered me before get to me. Not because I care what others think, be- but, be- but because I see myself being lowered in your eyes and good opinion. The fear, that is the fear you see, because I will never want to bring anything but joy to you. I'm sorry I lost my focus. You are all that matters to me. I don't want to ever
God.
let you down. Thank you for being my guardian and protector in this life. That's what I wanted to use this card for. When you saw me at the cash register, and once again, did what you didn't have to, and gifted me with mementos of this trip of a lifetime, a coming of
Oh,
age. I will
Jesus.
return a better person. I have to sign off for now, as the cars are leaving. See you soon. With all my heart, Natalie.
Oh, God. You're not going to read the second one, are you?
I barely
There
got
are
through the
two.
first. I'm sorry,
There
guys.
are two.
If you listen to my show, I'm much better. I was just laughing during this because that's good.
uh, yeah, on Daily Kos, I posted both of those letters, and then I had an AI, an LLM, analyze it. And some people complain that why are you using AI to analyze? Well, if I started psychoanalyzing it, it would just make trouble for me and everyone else. And I don't like getting into what over at Daily Kos is called pie fights. So, but yeah, it's it's just amazing. But now we're discovering other things like for a year, she resisted getting a security clearance. And so there are these people who are in the Trump orbit, who have been in the Trump orbit, like Kushner, who don't really have good or at all security clearances. And of course, Natalie Harp resisted for a year, but I assume they've done one anyway. I assume Secret Service or
Yeah,
FBI already did
I
it.
read today. I read today that like once that was reported, like I think she's been cleared now. I think
Yes.
this is a completely incompetent administration and they don't
Oh,
do
yeah.
normal checks and
It,
stuff.
it sounds like if they would have done the security check, they might have found out that Trump had a restraining order for stalking him or something.
Well, I mean, if you guys scroll up in the chat, I posted those pictures. She's literally, according to reporting, at one point got in the back of the trunk of Trump's car. Um, you can
Or
see it
a
from the
car,
pictures.
maybe
She
not Trump's
runs.
car.
Yeah, oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, a car, allegedly. Uh, and she runs behind Trump's golf course. She's literally this woman obviously has issues, mental issues, and the level of obsession kind of gives us insight into that religious, not the hogs, but like, the religious cult-like following for
Mm,
Trump from the Christian right. You can
mm.
kind of see in
Yep.
her through her own words like how that works. And I think that's important for us for like to understand.
Yeah. No, well, not to trash homeschooling, but she was homeschooled as well. And so there's, and I would argue in some cases, not all cases, that socialization doesn't occur for some folks who are heavily homeschooled
No,
or not well
100%.
anyway. And so it fits you into your whatever your religious pattern is, your habitus, as they say. So anyway,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, I don't know like any more about Natalie. We have to ask Prof. John because clearly he's the John in the letter.
Oh God. So what's happening in that little greenhouse there? I think
Oh,
that's just the cutest little thing. I'm just not used to miniature
yeah,
greenhouses.
yeah, I thought it was cool as well, and it fits perfectly over the boxes that was got down there.
Excellent.
But check out this bounty.
Oh, nice.
All two of them.
Critters
Two,
can't
Wow.
get to it either.
all the two that are about as big as my pinky. Yeah, so we're gonna take this one with a nice flower, and we could maybe take that one. We've got a few more over here. This one is a little bit more giving. We've got 6 on this one. So we're just gonna, we don't need too much. You harvest this little baby and then head inside.
You don't have a problem with critters, though, do you, Joe? Little
And
rabbits or
no,
whatever.
the main thing is slugs. We've got
Ah, yes,
really ruthless slugs. So,
big ones
but
too, as I recall. Jesus.
it's a brand new plot we put in, so I don't think everybody's aware of it yet. And
Slug
and
radar. Yes.
uh, and the deer are a little bit too skittish to come up this close.
I just want to take a second to for all of us to recognize Joe's camera work because he's outside and I'm learning how to do like cooking videos with Like, and I'm just there, you know what I mean? And I have far more difficulty. This is dope. Thanks, Joe.
Uh, if you ever have a chance to have a garden, definitely
Look at
grow
that.
yellow squash and definitely try the dish we're gonna do because it is absolute heaven. It's
Blossoms.
They
truly.
look
Yummy.
amazing.
Uh,
Yum. Look at that.
oh, cold out here. Can you see my breath?
Sorry, no.
Ah,
I keep thinking like
it's
Natalie
cold.
Harp is gonna come charging out and tackle you.
Oh, jeez.
Apropos of Blair Witch.
Yes. That brand of television still is around, people using whatever infrared whatever lights to
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
thermals. Well, the ones where you these guys are in haunted houses or whatever, and you night they do night vision things, and you think if it's green, it's got to be night vision or something, which very confusing for a lot of people.
Totally.
And a couple radishes. There we go. These aren't
Look at
doing so
that.
well.
Look at
You and your communist radishes, Joe,
that.
always boils my blood.
Is that idea about slugs true, where if you put salt on them, they croak?
Yeah, they're quite that is quite damaging. Or you could cut them in half and leave them for the others. They're cannibals.
Ah,
Uh,
Interesting. So, Prof. N, what's on your
probably
mind
gonna.
this week?
oh Jesus. Well, aside from Natalie Harp, the whole story of it's much more complicated. That is,
Can
there
we
are
just
two
call her
letter
Prof. John's secret girlfriend
secret
from now
love.
on? Yeah. Okay. Now I know who
uh,
you're talking about.
the two letters got transferred to Michael Wolff, who wrote that thing about the 2024 Trump campaign. So they have a certain obvious credibility, and the Daily Beast is the outlet that released these letters, and so they're not made up. I mean, they look very real. So all those other disinformation elements are kind of gone. It really is verifiable. Michael Wolff talks about them, so it really does have a palpable existence, and a lot of
Yeah,
people are trying to ignore but it cannot be ignored now.
I think Michael Wolff, because he is a bit of a scumbag, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
He lies
absolutely.
all the time. But at the same time, I think there's utility to any administration allowing this kind of guy who is pretty like suspect. Let's just say suspect. Anything he says is
Well,
pretty suspect.
well, yeah. I
Allowing
mean,
him
he
to come
interviewed
in.
Epstein.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So like releasing the letters, leaking the letters to him can also give that air that, oh, it might not be true
Oh
to
yes,
whoever's left of the
absolutely,
supporters. You know what I mean? Like it's interesting to
absolutely.
see how like politics works strategically.
Well, it freaked out the White House enough so that they dragged Melania out of hiding. So yesterday, Melania appeared in front of the press, the first time she's appeared in a month, which is pretty awesome, actually. Um, and that she sort of made fun of it, that she had, well, I'm here. But the fact is, they drag her out, especially during these kind of things. They did that before. I can't remember. There was some Epstein thing, and they dragged her out, and it was pretty weird that they dragged her out. But there she was.
Yeah, yeah, no, that was like it was such a bad move because
Oh,
basically like her best friend um had been deported to Brazil for
yes.
divorcing her husband. I don't know the exact names. I think
Oh
her
well,
name is Angoro. Her last name's Angoro.
Right. Right.
And she had given an interview to a Spanish newspaper about how Melania met Trump. And
Right.
that's
Right.
why that speech came out. No one could figure it out right away. It took a day or
Right.
two, and then everyone put the pieces together.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't think Melania cares. If you recall, right
no.
after he won in 2016, um, Melania was gone. She was living in their like penthouse in New York. And the only
Right.
way she agreed to be first lady was to if they would do like this ironclad um you know post nup,
Revised prenup. Yeah.
yeah, like a post nup with like the death clause and all that. So yeah, she stands to be very, very well compensated when he passes on. And I think that's the
There's
only reason.
there are probably bonuses. She's sort of on call in that sense, as it were. No reference, of course, to her prior work before
She's
she
just
met Trump. But anyway.
she's just so weird. Like it always defeats the purpose. It's like, she's like his Erica Kirk.
Oh,
Like Erica
yeah.
Kirk is like it's so weird. When Melania, even like we all heard that how much he hates, the recorded conversation of her whining about having to do the Christmas decorations. I hate
Oh,
Christmas.
yes.
Donell makes me do it. You know what I mean? Like that one. So we know what she thinks. So therefore, she can only be here for this. Like she's just like a prop for the administration because it's
Oh, yeah.
obvious they don't live together.
Yeah. Well, that whole 40 million dollars to what, Amazon or to whatever, Prime to do the little the props for what is it, Rush Hour 4 essentially, because is that Ratner did the Melania movie. All that's, it's just all tied together. She probably had that written into the post-nup. But anyway,
This these people are
yes,
such morons.
there
They
was that.
scream Epstein. Like you Brett Ratner, a notorious sexual abuser in Hollywood. Okay, this guy was at the top of
And
the world. This
Epstein.
guy did,
Yep.
I don't know if you guys remember, but like Rush Hour, Rush Hour 2, these were huge, huge movies. Brett Nat Ratner could like, you know, demand what he wanted from in Hollywood. And it comes out the entire time he was one of the most prolific sexual predators in Hollywood. And they hire him after
Yeah.
it's obvious the Epstein files are like part of like the modern conversation. They're not going away. Everyone needs to know.
Yeah.
And then
Yep.
Amazon hires and I'm assuming Melania hires this guy to do their documentary. Like it screams Epstein list, like right at like in your face because these people are
Yep.
completely comfortable with sexual predators.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, it does serve a purpose in the sense of the parallel universe of, Harvey Weinstein and et cetera. So there's that. Uh, oh, something just slipped my mind, unfortunately. But
Just to expand on that, there's an interesting theory going around, which I tend to agree with. I want to give her credit. I think her channel is Sabby Sabs, Twitch, YouTube. Um, she pointed out something very like important that I hadn't really considered. In the context of the Me Too movement, Harvey Weinstein's power and wealth, as huge as it was, right, is like microscopic compared to the people in the Epstein list. You know, these multi-billion trillionaires, like um so she mentioned this. I would love to know your everyone's thoughts. But um she said that basically in her opinion, and she's intelligent, um and I respect her. She said that Harvey Weinstein was basically not rich enough Like he wasn't he was a convenient enough rich target that they would be happy to allow to fall and not help in order to cover up everyone else. And I don't know, that kind of resonates with me.
Well, there is these layers of complexity, and we sort of learn that all through the whole story of Trump in the first and second administrations anyway. Um, it's just, aside from the potential that, yeah, that she could be, the Monica Lewinsky, she's more like Hope Hicks. I mean, Hope Hicks in the first administration, it probably didn't, have relations with Trump. She was there to, steam his pants, as
But
they
she
say, because
did
he
with
did.
Stephen Miller. Ugh. Hope you can do
Oh,
so
she
much
did?
better, girl.
Oh, I
Yeah.
hadn't heard that. I mean, I heard Rob Porter, and then there's the Corey Lewandowski, and there's just that alone was just horrible, or horrible to think of.
Wait,
Uh,
how many people is Corey Lewandowski sleeping with?
well, I mean,
Everyone? Okay, I'm just gonna assume he's
I
sleeping with
mean,
everyone.
well, could be. I mean, I don't know if he's still with Noam. I think he's still doing stuff with the administration, though. That there was this thing where, even though she left, he's still doing stuff somewhere, somehow, with the administration. So anyway, there's all that story. That wasn't the biggest thing this week. I mean, the war is continuing. Um, the Abraham Lincoln scandal is continuing, although
Yes.
yesterday, in finality, the Abraham Lincoln will be going back. Um, the problem, of course, is connected to that is moving the George Washington and leaving, I guess, emptiness in the South China Sea. But it's lacking one destroyer. So there's a destroyer that was floating because it lost its power for 4 days until it got towed into the Philippines. And so one of the destroyers in the Lincoln strike group still has to stay. I don't see why the PR people in the Pentagon should get on it and say, oh, no, we're just going to replace that with a different destroyer. But that's becoming a problem now, too. So there's that. But at the front end, it was always going to be a problem because the resupply port is in Bahrain. So what are you
Right.
going to do? Are you going to sail the Abraham Lincoln through Hormuz and get it whacked by something from Iran?
It wouldn't matter. They have been literally like apropos of what you were just saying. There was a report this morning that at night the U.S. has been trying to move three I think two frigates and a cruiser through like Oman side of the Strait of Hormuz.
Ah,
Even though it's pretty like obvious that it's mined and it's also almost impossible to navigate because there's like a million island like little islands, like tiny
yeah,
islets,
yep,
let's
yep,
call them. There is in
yep.
sandbanks. But also recall that on the first day of the war, well, actually not the first, the second day. So the strikes, the decapitation strike, all that kind of stuff happened if you're in North America, the night of the 27th, I want to say, of February, right? Am I
Uh,
right?
yes, it's the morning of the 28th is when the war
Yes.
started.
Yeah, exactly.
It was 3 a.m. in the 3 a.m. in the East Coast. I think that's when it started. Um,
Exactly. One of Iran's first targets using their most sophisticated ballistic missiles was to hit the port, the U.S. Navy port in Bahrain. And they bombed like so much is censored, but if you the video of the first strike is widely available. It's a guy from far away. I think he was on a highway and he pulled over and he was recording it. And you see just like this
uh-huh.
gigantic explosion. The base isn't functional. Like it's not going to be functional. The
Well,
Bahrainis will
I,
not
I,
have allowed the US to repair it, nor are the US willing to put troops there to repair it. So, like this is all like a myth. Like it's not going to happen. And as leftists, we should also take note that Britain is completely disgraced. I'm talking to you, Lane. When uh, Diego Garcia, the people of the island of Diego Garcia, which is 3,500 miles away, has been the major U.S. Port and base in the Indian Ocean since basically World War II. Was supposed to, I believe, 2 month. Sorry, let me get this right. 63 days ago. Um, was supposed to revert to the people who were pushed off it.
oh,
And
right,
those are the
right.
people of Mauritius. Mauritius
Mhm.
Yes.
is lovely little country in the Indian Ocean. The British government denied that for the US to be able to use that for resupply because Bahrain is destroyed. They have no other way. Like their logistics are completely messed up. If you think
Yep.
about the insanity besides like the gross spectacle of all this, but just if you think about it historically, logistics is the basis of every successful army
Every
you can ever think of. Perdiccas,
oh, back
the
to
logistical
Napoleon. Yeah.
genius that allowed Alexander the Great to conquer the known world.
Yes.
Caesar, logistical genius. Want to think about idiots? Mark Antony trying to fight the Parthians. No
Yeah.
logistics. Um, they without um being able to keep your troops. War sucks. Even if you're like one of these quote unquote warriors, sorry, war makers. War sucks. Um, I served briefly. I didn't want to go to war. Uh, it's bad. You have to kill people. Um, and people you don't know, and you won't know why, but you still have to do it. If your basic needs aren't being met, then you cannot maintain that sort of like, mental balance between morality and your job or duty to your country. All good militaries throughout history have known this. Um, s-
Yep.
this
Well,
is
Diego Garcia, it doesn't really have a huge port structure. I mean, I think service aircraft carriers there, but it's not really that big an island.
no,
And also, it's really far away. And, it is, as you say, with logistics, it's about the whole distance from other supply places and how it's all kind of screwed up with the current war. Um,
absolutely.
but there are only 2,500 or 3,000 people, right? Who have to go back to the island, right? From when they originally displaced them to Mauritius. I don't think there were more than 3,000 people.
Still,
When
it's
the
theirs.
Well, yeah, it
So
is
then,
theirs.
right? Like it's like the England
Well,
wasn't giving up
Australia
for
does that
fun.
too, but
It's
and
by treaty, so
oh
it's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
theirs,
Of course, of
and
course.
so that doesn't matter. I have a good friend Cedric who is from Mauritius, whose family was moved off forcibly.
Mm.
The it's not just Israel, Palestine, guys. It's everywhere around the world, everywhere.
Oh, yeah, absolutely,
The
absolutely.
ravages of like of colonialism, and then the division of the world post World War II are still like fresh wounds, and they hurt, and they affect people, and like as good people, we should always keep that in mind. That's another
Oh, yeah,
cost of this
absolutely.
war.
It's still operating. I mean, we still have all these other issues with American, territorial issues, and then I've been sort of looking at some of the Australian ones where they have people. Well, they do the same thing, and the irony, of course, is Australia populated by prisoners, et cetera, et cetera. So that's all interesting.
I, I
But
believe
that's
we
only
have
one
some
part.
international regulations against these kinds of behavior.
Well, that's part of Trump claiming at the last weekend that Hormuz was U.S. territory, which is just total BS because it's a waterway, and if it's anybody's territory, it's Oman and Iran's. But it's just he's just out there. I mean,
And who does he think he's
whole,
dealing with? Like, okay, like my aunt is Persian, my aunt Mershid, my mother's brother's wife. I love her dearly. Persian people are very, very complex, but they are also like extraordinarily like you can't mess with them. And these people have messed with them so much, they're not going to allow that to happen. The whole reason that th that it's ludicrous for him to call the Strait of Hormuz American territory is that their own bases in the Middle East are abandoned, right?
right. Look at those blossoms, though. Look at that. Yum.
Yep. So we just
Right.
chopped up the mushroom and sautéed the squash and mushroom briefly, mixed them with some herbs, salt and pepper, and then we just drizzle a little olive oil to get it crispy,
Yeah.
and we'll
Beautiful.
salt it at the end. Put this in for about 5 minutes until they crisp, and we'll plate it.
Yum.
Awesome.
Tasty. Tasty, tasty. Well,
Prof. Ann, had you heard anything about this rumor that there is behind all this talk about Putin invading Europe, that in fact what is happening is a diplomatic back channel through Lithuania so that they can independently, Ukraine and Russia can independently negotiate like an end, if not an end to the war, at least like a ceasefire for the winter, because no, either country's infrastructure really can't survive it going on. What do you think about that?
no. Well, I hadn't heard that, but I assume that something is going on. I mean, something technically something is always going on. Whether you get progress in it is a different thing. And yeah, Lithuania is probably one of the places you would do it. I don't think it would be Estonia and whatever, Latvia, but Lithuania would probably be the ideal place to do it, just from a
Yeah,
population
that's why
and
I gave it credence,
whatever.
because like it couldn't be Poland or the other countries because they have too much beef.
No, it's too close to where the real problems would be in a true confrontation between NATO and Russia. So, I mean, there's other things, but that's part of it. It's just more bizarre that occurs this week where Trump says, I'm siding with North Korea to reduce our annual joint exercise, U.S. joint exercise with South Korea, because we should feel sorry for North Korea or something, which makes total no sense at all from a diplomatic point of view or optics or whatever, because the current report is 50,000 North Korean troops are going to be fighting for the Russians against Ukraine. That's one thing. And every night, North Korean ballistic missiles are and cruise missiles are moving from Russia to Ukraine and killing people. And so it I mean, no, it's just sad, and it's more sad that no American politician is saying, there's kind of a contradiction here. But he did. He went ahead, and I think that there is going to be either some reduction or uh, uh, some abbreviation of the joint exercise. I think they're still going to. I mean, when you plan a joint exercise, it takes months to get it all together, and I think that's something is going to happen there. I mean, it's not going to stop. It's
What
really an
what
important thing for both sides.
what I read was
Well,
that
annually,
a huge component of this joint exercise of this war game was also firing air defense missiles, and the U.S. doesn't have
oh,
any to
right.
spare, and that's like that could be a major factor. So if you think
Yes.
about it that way, then it makes sense for Trump to do this.
uh, I mean, there are other constraints on it too, but yes, they have THAAD missiles and Patriot missiles, and yes, and I mean, there are other reasons not to do it because they've installed all this new radar stuff in the general region, and it's probably not actually a good idea to show what's going on in the current situation. But anyway, uh,
But
yeah, well,
you're
there's
quite
that.
right. Like, and
May
also
I quickly
North Korea.
interrupt?
Yeah, of course. You're
Sorry
not
about that.
interrupting.
Oh, yes. The mushrooms, we covered the mushrooms so that they would sweat and then give off their juices. And now we can add the oil back. Is anybody familiar with how to prep the snow peas? If not, this is your first time having snow peas, you basically pinch the end towards the curve. So you pinch that and pull, you get the hair that comes
Oh, I
off. You
didn't
can't do the
realize that.
bottom. You don't need to.
Cool.
So that's proper cleaning.
Nice.
Well, that's a tip that I need to know. Yeah. Geez. I'm asking myself in my little brain, why didn't Julia Child talk about this? But anyway,
Well, other beans
Because she was
as
trained
well.
like me, Prof. And she was haute cuisine.
that's right. Yeah, you don't have these kind of peas in haute cuisine, or you have whatever the.
Oh, these ones.
Yeah, exactly.
But string beans are the same way, right?
Is it? I'm not sure.
No. Well,
Well, when I do
They don't
string
peel
beans, I
quite
snap
as
them and I pull that
as like
string out of it.
magnificently.
yeah, they don't have the
But you're
long.
right. You're right.
Yeah.
They're akin.
All righty.
Little hedgehogs. So cute.
And yo, from all three of us, and if you're triggered by Joe cooking mushrooms, I apologize.
Very good.
Oh God.
Anne, could I ask you a quick question? While we're
Sure.
looking at these wonderful snow peas. What do you think's the holdup that is keeping Iran from center punching one of these carriers with a Mach 5 or Mach 10 hypersonic missile?
Oh,
Well, not point one is that I don't think that they're as
Right.
accurate as they might be. On the other hand, the Russians are giving the Iranians targeting information, so there's that. That's one thing. But they are accurate enough. I mean, in the sense that I don't know if it's a cruise missile or a ballistic missile, but they did manage to whack an E8 or E3, an E3 AWACS. I mean, that's a big deal. Right on the runway, and they chopped it in half. At the beginning
$700
of the
million.
it's not the plane; it's all the gear. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a big effing deal relative to their ability to do stuff. So anyway,
And also to like expand on your answer, Iran has launched like it can be confirmed that at least three of the like most advanced ballistic missiles were launched at Diego Garcia. Now, Diego Garcia is 3,500 kilometers away, right? It's much harder to hit, and apparently, um, they were intercepted, or one was intercepted at least, and two missed. We don't know.
well, the claim
Iran
was
is
that they fell
probing
short.
that.
The claim is that they fell short, but whatever, that's
Yeah,
propaganda.
but ballistic missiles are also meant to be targeted at static targets,
Right.
right? Not a fleet at sea is moving. So, which means you have to have a weapon sophisticated enough to be able to target like where the fleet will be,
Yeah. Well, I
and
mean,
and also like an ability to manipulate it. And hypersonics, once launched at their target, they're not like drones. You can't change their trajectory. They will
yeah,
just go in. So that is why they're keeping the fleet so far south.
right.
Because if they were closer, then Iran could just launch tons of its
Swarms of
medium.
stuff.
Yeah, exactly, at it.
Or even just get the Houthis to send all the anti-ship missiles at it, because they haven't really done that yet. But or I mean, they tried a couple times, but they're really not that good relative to telemetry and all that other stuff. So
Yeah,
anyway, yeah,
we're in the stupidest stalemate like in human history right now. Like we truly live in the dumbest time ever.
I would
But I love you
posit
guys, so I'm glad to
I
be
would
here.
I would posit that they would not like that kind of escalation, even though that's where all of the firepower is coming from, emanating. That if they took out something like a carrier, then the next step is nukes.
I totally agree, which is why I think they
Mm.
expended so much of their best missiles on
Yeah.
the first day to
They,
blow up the port
uh,
in Bahrain. Like this is the
uh,
torture that they're trying to
mm,
cause. They're playing a long
uh,
game.
and if the reports are true that Iran's tied to the cyber espionage into the dams and water systems in Minnesota and several other states, and that is also just a warning. But again,
They're not going to
we're in
do
your,
it.
it's a notification. We're in your system. We can cause trouble. Nobody is willing to take that next step. The U.S. did it in Venezuela recently when they kidnapped Maduro. But yeah,
Iran's problem, even though that a lot of their leaders are like religious psychopaths, um, is that they think that they are dealing with rational political actors, and
mm,
they are not.
yeah.
Like that's the fundamental break here. Um,
well, I mean, that's part of the constraint. The other constraint is, their continuing relationship with the other Gulf states. I mean, on the one hand, it goes back decades, but on the other hand, they have to live with them. I mean, this is
Mm,
this is the
the
whole
region.
deal about trying to work through this.
yeah, I think I mean, I think that was the correct Persian response, if you will, because these like the Gulf states, these like medieval monarchies, right? That's what they are.
Yeah,
Um, uh, have and also there's a massive cultural divide. Iranians are largely Persian, and everyone else in the Middle East is Arab. They're different. They're not the same. And
exactly.
there's a lot of distrust, and there's also the religious divide between Sunni and Shia. So
Yep.
I think what Iran has been doing, like, and believe me, I never in my life thought I would agree with the Islamic Republic of Iran, because
The
I
quote
don't,
unquote
I don't, like,
mullahs.
but, but, they have, like, in all honesty, like, they have been so, like, strategic measured in all of their responses, all the while being subjected to, like, the most I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say what it is. Indiscriminate bombing. I'm sorry,
Mhm.
if you bomb a school and kill 138 girls and their parents in a double strap strike, you aren't on the right side of this war, period.
Yep.
So that's where it comes through. But if you see what they're doing, they've like it's like they had a strategy. And they've like layer by layer peeled off the entire defensive envelope that existed over these Gulf monarchies. And in this recent escalation have peeled back all the defenses of Jordan. The threat implied there is that, okay, now we can strike Israel, and there's nothing you can do to stop us, right?
Right.
Um, whereas the US, like, it doesn't make sense to me. The US rhetoric, like,
Well,
you can't admit, obviously, that you lost the war, even though we all see it. But why
yeah.
not make a deal that saves some face? You know,
Well, but
it
that's
makes no
not in the
sense.
right wing sort of point of view. I truly believe that once they had that success, quote unquote, in Venezuela, they believed they could do shock and awe again. It's I think
Mhm.
it's very tediously dim-witted thinking. And particularly, as we've mentioned before, the logistics issue. I mean, that must have been gamed out ages ago about Hormuz. So it just makes no damn sense. But of course,
I mean, they
Trump went
mined it in
ahead.
the 80s. They mined the Strait of everyone. For some reason, no one remembers anything. But the Iranians did mine the Strait of Hormuz briefly in the
Oh,
80s
yes,
during the
absolutely.
Iran-Iraq War. It was a huge crisis. And they're just replaying the same thing.
I, it is like they don't read history, but that's a whole nother thing. Actually, I think one of the bigger threats to Iran is their relationship to the militias in Iraq that they support, because most of the reporting now is about having real problems or taking this time, kind of working with and against the Iraqis to disarm certain militias. So it's that's probably even more complicated for the Iranians than anything. I mean, it's a
Well,
kind of daily problem.
one of the more we should quickly talk about the economic D-Day that Trump proposed and completely failed on Iran. But also, apropos what you're saying, there was this insane report. I don't know if it's true, but it was covered by DropSite that those same northern Iraqi rebel factions that you were speaking of, supported by Iran, to facilitate an agreement between the two countries, attempted an assassination on
Oh,
the
right.
Iraqi prime minister, launching two drones at his house. So, like,
Yeah. Oh
I
God.
hate war, but it's very fascinating to see like how all like these pieces like fit
Oh,
together.
it's just amazing. And in some ways that, the US doesn't leverage that component. They didn't leverage that component. Rather, they wanted to send armaments to the Kurds in Iran, which made no sense of just from a tactical point of view. Oh, well, we'll give them some guns and then the whole government will fall. Well, that's just not going to happen. This is just crazy.
Plus,
And
like, if the Kurds they moved their forces out of Iraq into Iran, Turkey would come in and wipe out.
oh, yes,
Like
absolutely.
it's so dumb. Like these people, the American planners right now, okay, are like Hegseth, and Hegseth is like the most intelligent of them.
Well, maybe it's
Um,
his wife. His wife is more intelligent. But anyway, carry on.
Yeah, like just it's insanity. There's no understanding of like relationships. And I think it's because like all of these people like and I don't think it's an exaggeration. They do really believe in this like Christo-fascist worldview. And uh there's no there's no reason to consider, you know, um the rest of the world. We can do whatever we want, and they're learning now that they can't.
Yep, yep. Well, I mean, they do a more weaselly sort of thing relative to Trump. I mean, there's this. He's been taken in probably by Kushner. I mean, Kushner wields a lot more power than we sort of imagine. I mean, after all, I think he decided rather than Trump to go to talk to Bibi on the weekend, and he failed, of course, to do anything. So, on the other hand, they had to admit that Kushner went to talk to Bibi and nothing
Yeah.
happened. So it's just amazing to me how they continue to do this stuff.
Kushner is very valuable to Trump
Oh,
because his
absolutely.
sons are idiots,
Yes,
and
yes,
but Kushner's adept at moving money around, and
yes.
that's that. I think that's basically the basis of their relationship because these people are completely just transactional.
In Florida, they're reporting that Jared and Ivanka are now looking at houses in Malibu. So, you can already see this shift because Kushner and Ivanka really truly want to separate themselves from Trump. They tried doing it, during the Biden era, and I think they're preparing for, the end of Trumpism, hopefully. But on the
Seppuku,
other hand,
seppuku is
yes.
the only honorable path. There is no separation
So
otherwise. I'm
they're
sorry.
they're Albanian real estate venture fell
Oh,
through, I
well,
take
that's
it.
it. That's part of it too. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
they might have actually caused the close to fascist government of Albania to be revolted and overthrown because the
Yes.
flamingo protests are ongoing.
Oh,
Just
yes,
before,
it's still going on. This
yeah,
weekend, there's
it's still,
more Albanian protests.
yeah, it's ridiculous. And I'm not saying Jared's smart. I'm just saying he's good at moving money around
Oh,
because he
yeah,
bought
yeah.
the island based on a fake
Oh,
deed
yeah.
from this like crappy gangster from Albania. It's too
And
funny.
that's not the first time these guys got tricked. I mean, because what's his name? Uh, anyway, uh, they've been tricked before. Let's put it that way.
Well, if Prof. John will hook
Well,
you up with Nancy, I'll wear a tuxedo and we'll go scam enough money from these weirdos to support the cause forever. But
Indeed.
just
speak,
also very quickly, Joe, before we
yep.
compliment your delicious food, because it is delicious, I just want to say that that D-Day threat from Trump was completely destroyed when China put out a statement saying there is no way we will ever
In fact,
comply to this.
China
Right.
says, quote, China believes that military means, sanctions, and pressure tactics are not the solution. On the contrary, they will only lead to escalation that serves no one's interests. We
Oh,
call
God.
for efforts to solve disputes through dialogue and negotiation. They
Uh,
continue, China opposes illicit unilateral sanctions that lack basis in international law and the UN Security Council mandate, unquote.
but they're communists. Why are
Yeah, why are godless communists speaking with such
Oh,
empathy and
God.
human rationality?
Theocratic mullahs, it's like the voice of reason. It's just upside down, this world, it seems.
What? And they're closer to being democratic socialists than communists. But anyway,
Joe, explain. This
We're-
is beautiful.
we-
It really
we-
is
it
gorgeous.
might not be
nice.
so filling, but it is rich. These roasted squash blossoms stuffed with their own selves. They're kind of like vegetarian sausages with
Nice.
chanterelles, and then I've got the sautéed little hedgehog mushrooms and our fresh
Nice.
snow peas and fresh radish from the garden with the gout weed to cut all the richness.
Beautiful.
Excellent. Wonderful. We're
Mm.
getting close to
Oh,
doing our schedule again,
oh,
but
is it that time? Did you
well,
have some other
we're getting close to it.
items?
Let's
Yeah,
Oh, can we
pace
just all
ourselves.
just like recognize that we also 2 weeks ago we witnessed Dave Rubin get destroyed by debating 20 children on Surrounded. This week we got Tim Pool being
Like,
completely destroyed by the same 20 children on Surrounded. So shout out Screw
Oh,
Jubilee forever, but shout out to those 20 children. I love
yes.
them.
Uh,
Follow Mason at One Hand Politics. It's my homie. I made friends with him right after he crushed Ruben, because we both knew Michael Brooks. And so it's just nice to see that like their entire worldview is based on absolutely nothing. With
well,
Ruben, they were just attacking him because he was in. I mean, God, come on. Any one of us could have probably done better.
well, I mean, they've never been
But
very good, and they've only had access because of, Trump, whatever. And now the Russian money purportedly got cut off, so they're really floundering,
they're really
whatever.
hurting. Yeah, absolutely. And what was different between this and the Ruben debate was that they were constantly calling Tim Pool out as a grifter because that's what
Oh,
he
yeah,
is,
well, yeah.
right? And he was completely not prepared for that.
Oh,
It was
well,
beautiful to see.
he's a
Um,
dolt anyway, but whatever.
yeah, our
But
Queen Candace has implicated Prof. John with
ah,
Natalie, but at the same time, she also facilitated the destruction of the entire online right, which is pretty awesome. So all we need to do is fight centrists, and like we can do that with our eyes closed.
Yes, yes. Well, there's stuff we can tempt. Oh, let me finish
They're
off with
pretty
some things.
tenacious.
This week, the there's missile problems in both Russia and Ukraine, and I agree with you that they may agree to some sort of ceasefire or moratorium or something, but both sides are having issues about interceptor missiles and ballistic missiles because we know, I mean, they're using North Korean missiles, the Russians. So there's issues on both sides. On the other hand, they would really love to take down each other's grid, but it can't happen. I mean, they're not going to score that way. I mean, it'll just get worse rather than get better. There's no way they can get better at it. But
I
anyway,
agree. Like, yeah, I think it's reached a point where like it's just becoming like a natural stalemate.
yep.
Both sides are gonna have to give up a lot, but it has to end.
Well, it has to end, and there are other constraints on it. I mean,
Well,
there's
I mean,
still
like actually, I want to ask you about this very quickly. They've been hitting those Wildberry warehouses. So
yes,
for anyone who doesn't know,
most of them.
Wildberry is Amazon in Russia, right? People, I think it's like what, something like 40% of all like commerce goes through Wildberry.
Yep.
Ukraine has been hitting those warehouses hard. And
No air defense. There's no air defense around any of those things, and they, whatever reason they have for not defending them, I have no idea. But they should have at least put up a token defense around the one closest to Moscow. Let's put it that way.
right,
It would
and
have better optics anyway. But
oh yeah,
whatever.
no, I saw that. That was yesterday, I believe, the strike on that. It was a huge explosion.
Oh,
I could not believe it. These
huge.
facilities are like Amazon facilities. So guys, remember several like a warehouse like several football fields
Yes,
across.
they're huge.
And it just completely blew it up. And all obviously all its inventory and all that. And Ukraine has been striking these across Russia. Now, if you think of
It's a
if you
bingo
consider
card.
that,
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. Carry on.
yeah, if you consider it in a Western context, if you wanted to force a deal, can you imagine anything that would provoke a leftist revolution more than cutting off Amazon for everyone?
Well, gee, that's sort of an idea, but sedition. Well,
Okay,
anyway,
I did not, for the record, I did
we
not
did
say that.
we did
Um,
not advocate this
yeah, I'm
at
not
all.
advocating for that, but it is a good idea.
It is taking down Russia, though. I mean, well, anyway, other things are happening. There's, Venezuela, I think, had gold, sold their gold or whatever to help cover uh, the earthquake stuff. So there's that. But anyway, there was plenty of news this week. So we'll probably discuss more of it elsewhere, or you should
And the
come join us.
benevolent IDF has been sent to Colombia to help in the rubble evacuation.
Mm.
Hmm. They're
You know,
meeting some hostility.
just wait till hurricane season comes up. But anyway,
They're getting criticized as doing photo ops.
Yeah, I know
For
everyone
them.
buy like dried beans and stuff. This is gonna be a rough winter
Long,
because
long,
every
long
single
ride.
like I'm friends with a couple of really, really big science podcasters, and they've been telling me that this El Nino is going to be off the chain, and that's what they're
Oh.
doing. So rice, beans, just stock up.
And a pressure cooker.
yes, yes.
Pressure cookers reduce your cooking time down to a third, a half to a third, or a third to a half. So you save energy and it cooks quicker.
Awesome. Great tip.
Are those what berries are those?
These are we came across city cherries. They were in along a roadway. There was morel and sour cherries. Yeah,
How do you say cherry in Norwegian?
well, there's moreller are these, and these ones are shishibar. kirschberry, sour cherry, or black cherry.
Awesome.
Mm.
Yum. I think we're getting closer to
Yeah. We can
schedule
obviously
time.
there's like a million things to talk about.
You know,
Shall I throw the
Katie
schedule up, or
Miller's
you got
body
more?
count
Oh.
has gone up drastically in the last week, and we could riff on that for 20 minutes, but yeah, we should go on.
Man, we're just it's a crazy world out there. Let's just put it that way. Well, our schedule is coming up as we're going to look at that in a second as I try and bring up the schedule, or at least my
Oh.
version of the schedule.
There we go. There you go.
All right, thank you. At the bottom of the hour is your friend and ours, Prof. John, is going to be showing more Alfred Hitchcock. John?
Yes. Well, let me start by making a statement. I do not now, nor will I ever have any relationship to someone called Natalie.
Notice that he didn't say Mrs. Harp. I'm so suspicious, John.
Mrs. Harp. Actually, I have a question about that. So was she writing those letters to Trump or to someone named John?
No, to Trump directly. She referenced someone named John who wasn't great at using technology. Sorry, my dog is in the background. And was politically active.
Okay.
So who does that sound like, guys?
I gotta tell you, I am a whiz with PowerPoint slides.
Well, I don't think so, because every single week you give credit to the people who do the slides for you.
Oh.
And you can never get your webcam to work, so whatever, man. I'm with Candace on this.
So this guy was named John Prof. His last name was Prof.
Yes, John Prof. That
John
is an
Prof.
excellent add to the lore. John Prof. Like, why would you pick the exact same name if you're trying to hide it from us?
Well, you know, he picked an episode called The Cheney Vase, so he's got something to do with Republicans, right?
Yes.
Put down that shotgun.
Liz has been trying her hand at pottery. Yes, tonight.
I just thought it was funny. I reached out. I just wanted to see, and the answer I got back was so vague that I was just like, okay, it has to be Prof. John.
I'm a little concerned that when you encountered the word vague, that you associated that with me.
All we know is that it's a John.
And that really narrows it down.
Politically active and not proficient with technology.
John Stewart. It's John
Guys,
Stewart.
All of you. Who do
Another
we
single-
know and
single
who do we
N.
know and love and that describes?
Oh, God.
Am I wrong?
Tell us about the episode, John.
All right. So tonight's episode is called The Cheney Vase, or if you prefer, The Cheney Vase. When Lyle Endicott, who was played by Darren McGavin, who we love, right, Joe?
Oh, Lord. Stab me in the heart. I feel it right in the heart.
Oh, God.
With a wooden stake. When he is fired from his job at an art museum, he comes up with a plan to take advantage of a trusting invalid whom he befriended at the museum.
Does he fall on his arse at any point?
That's a good question. I didn't, not that I can remember, but we'll have to watch
One
close.
for falling on his arse.
Yes. I don't even think he wears a hat in this, but I might be wrong.
All righty.
It stars Patricia Collinge. Is that how you say her name? Collinge?
I guess.
Darren McGavin, Carolyn Jones, George McCready, and Ruta Lee. And we have seen all of these people in various things that I have shown at one point or another, or with the possible exception of Patricia Collig.
All right.
Oh, I just wanted to mention, I don't know if anyone saw my write-up for this evening about Joe in Norway harvests and butchers a baby squash and sautés it with wild chanterelles with herbs and stuffs them inside its own squash blossom and roasts it to make it essentially a vegetarian sausage for kitchen ASMR.
Oh my. Is
So
that a violation of the terms of service? Anyway.
we're not radically violent vegans.
All right. Well, after that, Barry, if Travis graces us with his presence, we'll do Cinematheque at 10ish. And then tomorrow, 5 p.m., more Alan Partridge. Lane?
Yes, finally. We're at I'm Alan Partridge. The one that made him mainstream. It's brilliant. Alan has been sacked from the BBC, as we know. And he's now working for Radio Norwich on the graveyard shift. And living in a hotel because he's been kicked out of his house by his wife. Who's moved in with a fitness instructor who he doesn't like.
Lane, I was surprised that Alan was fired. I'm given his very subtle product placement.
Yeah, that and shooting the guy,
punching the guy in the face. Yeah.
Oh God!
It's bound to happen sooner or later.
After that, at 7 p.m., Saturday Night Theater. Susanna, do you want to tell us about Colossus: The Forbin Project? Susanna, I think she has a thing she wants to do to talk about this.
Didn't Nick or somebody like that show that movie to us back in the day? Remember Nick?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think he showed it.
That was a long time ago. Yes.
Yeah.
She has a very good print of it. So, yes, we're going to see
it. Good movie. I saw it when it came out, when I was like early teens.
Thank you for reminding me about Nick. Yes, absolutely. So there's that. She has a whole thing she's going to do on it. Anyway, so
I just wanted to say it's directed by Joseph Sargent, who directed a number of episodes of a television series that I'm fond of.
Can we guess?
Yeah, why don't you guess?
Joseph Sargent. He became Joseph Captain when he started making movies, I believe.
Yeah, he was promoted. Yes,
but he was never Captain America.
No, that never happened. No.
There will be music after the 7 o'clock Eastern Saturday Night Theater. On Sunday at 5 p.m., since John is piped up, another episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation at 5 p.m. Eastern. Opid.
No, Cupid.
Cupid. That's right. Cupid.
Cupid. Yes. John Delancey is back as Q, the omnipotent alien.
This is one strange episode. Let me just say that this is one strange episode.
The rest is perfectly straightforward.
This is
Buckle in, Lane.
This is a very enjoyable episode, I gotta say.
Yeah, sure.
John, you say that every week, man.
No, it's really fun. You don't think it's fun?
Fun? Oh, yeah. Well, anyway.
Well, I'll have to see.
It is, well, anyway. It's meta cosplay. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yes.
Oh,
aiming to get out of Jean-Luc's debt, Q forces Captain Picard and his officers to live out the legend of Robin Hood.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Oh, no.
And they do it justice with a past acquaintance as Maid Marian.
Not a period piece.
Guest starring Jennifer Hetrick.
I'm dying inside.
Clive Revell. Clive Revell, remember him from the last episode of Columbo from the 70s? The IRA terrorist.
The Legend of Hell House. That's the one I remember of him.
Oh, The Legend of Hellhound. Yeah.
There we go.
Anna loves Q. So please do not disparage Q.
And right after that, we will have our friends up north,
How are the
Lane
lads? Our friends in the north again.
in the north. Sorry.
What you like up north? Jesus. Bye.
I'm
Bye,
an
where's
American.
the Eccles cake and the whippets?
I'm an
Um,
American.
Yeah, man. It's the one that hits me in my age group round here the hardest. It did when it came out, and it's the miners' strike one.
Mm.
It's filmed round here, and it's very accurate, and it shows you the impact of Thatcher.
Mm.
In the later stages of the strike, getting the Met involved, and it didn't go well.
No.
So,
Quite.
and I'll probably put the documentary on or Grieve on afterwards or something like that. There's a new one actually specifically about County Durham, and it's just come out by Tower Films, but it's only available on DVD, and they haven't done it online yet. They're still doing it around the local cinemas. But that one's specifically County Durham during the miners' strike and all the footage from the news they've sourced and all that stuff.
A huge impact on British culture. I mean, in terms of the mid 80s, it just during all kinds of other things. For example, LGBT Q
Yeah.
stuff went on at
Yeah.
the same time. I just recently saw a movie about that relative to the miners' strike.
Pride.
Yes, excellent film.
Good film.
Excellent film. Anyway, yes. So there's that. That happens right after Star Trek: The Next Generation. Monday is California Dreams, California Nightmares with Nate. Nate, are you here to talk about this? No. We're reading, and we're almost to the end of Palo Alto: A History of California Capitalism and the World by Malcolm Harris. And it's still been a good read, and I think we recommend it to you, especially if you're interested in California history, particularly Northern California history. We're going to go to Southern California history subsequently. I don't know if it's the following week or the week after that. We're going to read City of Courts anyway, so that will be fun, I hope. Funny Hour happens after that at 9 on Monday. Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 o'clock Central, the Red Hour. Bruce?
Yes, the Red Hour. I got a couple of things to discuss. This Tuesday night, we are going to investigate fake news versus gonzo journalism through the lens of Hunter Thompson's coverage of the 1968 Democratic Convention.
Oh, yes. Excellent.
So that'll be fun. And then I also want to tease the following Tuesday, because I propose that we do a live table read of a radio drama, The Red Wind, it's called. It's a Philip Marlowe adventure based on a Raymond Chandler story.
Cool.
So this Tuesday, I'd like to get commitments from people that want to participate so I can assign roles. And then we'll read it as a drama.
How many do you need?
There's about 6, 8. I mean, a couple minor characters that I can double up. There's about 4 main characters. So
Awesome. Yeah, post it on Discord, please.
Yeah.
General, and then
I'll put the PDF in the Red Hour. This is the premiere episode from 1947 of the radio program based on Marlowe.
Excellent. So. We've done table reads before in our little group. In the last one, I think we did an episode of Twin Peaks, and I got to play the log in the Log Lady. Anyway.
Our very first table read, if you guys recall, the old
Godfather.
Yes. New Year's Eve, was it 2020? We read we read most of The Godfather.
Yeah, there we go. I just watched it. Anyway, yes. So there's that. At 8:30 on Tuesday is Good News with Professor John. Wednesday at 6 p.m. I'm going to do more stuff. Actually, I already prepared it, but now I forget what I'm going to talk about. It's a different thing this week. This coming week. At 8:30 on Wednesday is Spirituality and Activism with Texas Tom. And we don't quite know what's going to be there quite yet. And then on Thursday at 7 is Bring the News. And then we're back to the beginning of our little week. So that gives us our schedule. 6 minutes from now, we will get Alfred Hitchcock Presents. So we're getting close to the end of our little business here, our little repartee. Do you want to close?
Well, for this week, I would call it Natalie Hart Presents
Indeed.
Alfred Hitchcock.
Indeed.
Joe, your food looks magnificent. And as always, I love you guys. If
you too, Arjun.
Anyone during the week like wants me to contribute, unfortunately, like my life is a bit hectic. Message me on Discord or follow me at Deep in History on any social media. And message me there. I'll know who you are. And if I can, I definitely will.
All right. Excellent. We will try to do better next week. Joe, do you want to say anything else, or we're going to go?
No, that's it. Just looking for the closing. Here we go.
I
Right.
just
See you
learned.
next week. Oh,
I
John.
do
I
have a
do.
question.
Wait,
I-
John's
did I-
trying to defend himself now. This is gonna be awesome. We have to get this in. No,
No,
please,
I-
question first.
I'm not sure about this, but did Lane and Anne say that the movie The Bride was good? The movie that came out this year? Or did I
No,
miss-
Pride. It's Pride,
Oh,
not
Bride.
The Bride.
Never mind. Okay, so The Bride was a movie that got bad reviews, so I was wondering. Never mind.
Oh, no. I haven't seen it, so whatever. Can't review it.
Me neither.
All right. Joe, take us away.
Wait
Oh,
a minute.
John?
No, Prof. John.
I did
John?
I wanted to warn Joe that I did contact the Norwegian Department of Family Services because what you're seeing in front of you there is what Joe feeds his family for a week.
And how would you have been able to contact said family services unless you were in fact in contact with Natalie Harp? It's true, Prof.
Yeah,
John.
she's a well-known operative of the Norwegian state.
It's
Indeed.
about connections, baby. It's about connections.
We
I
will try to
say
do better next
it
week.
is a little on the light side this evening. It's just a starter. It's
Yes.
the middle of the morning here for us anyway. So anyhow,
Hors d'oeuvres. Hors d'oeuvres. Bye.
see ya.
Bye. I'll do better next week.
Thanks, Arjun.
Thank you.